Hey everybody, Alex Markley with Markley Bros Entertainment here. First, I want to acknowledge that the last 6 months have been a rough time to be a fan of Markley Bros Entertainment. Whether you are a casual follower or a diehard Ember, you've probably noticed that our uploads have been getting pretty erratic and not as frequent as anyone would like. If that wasn't bad enough, I realize my communication during this time has been basically non-existent. So today in this video, I'm going to lay everything out, what happened, how we got here, and where we're going. I'll warn you ahead of time, I've got a lot to cover. This video is going to be a little bit rambling, so feel free to skip ahead if you just want the TLDR. Before we get any further, I want to apologize. I care about Markley Bros Entertainment very much. I care about our Ember community very much. And if you're watching this video, I care about you very much. I've always wanted to be transparent about what's going on behind the scenes, but over the course of this year, I have totally failed at that goal. I'm sorry for that. You deserve better. And I will try harder to keep the lines of communication open in the future. I'm also sorry for the lack of regular content uploads. If you're watching this video, I've let you down, and I'm sorry. So how did we get here? In the spirit of transparency, let me share just a little bit about the ways that this year went sideways for us. I'm not making excuses, to be clear. I just want to provide a little bit of an explanation for what happened. At the very beginning of this year, I set a team goal for Markley Bros Entertainment to join the YouTube Partner Program. I knew that we would need more people watching and enjoying our content in order to make that possible. So I started experimenting with a bunch of ads. But I made a huge mistake. Because I didn't target those ads correctly, we got a lot of very random traffic onto our YouTube channel, which totally confused the YouTube algorithm and pushed us farther away from our target audience instead of closer to it. The more I learned about the YouTube algorithm this year, and the more I studied the data that we got from running those experiments, the more I realized we had a serious problem. Number one, our videos were not engaging enough to really get picked up by the YouTube algorithm in the traditional sense. And number two, the more I tried to make our videos engaging enough to satisfy the algorithm, the more I compromised on the soul and the creative vision that I had for our content. The team and I have had to take a long, hard look at what we actually want to make. What kinds of videos do we want to film? What kinds of stories do we want to tell? The bad news is that process has been slow, disruptive, and at times painful. The good news, I'm more confident than ever in our creative vision, and I am very excited to share with you more and more as the pieces click into place. If the saga of our YouTube channel was everything we had to deal with, I think we would have been fine, honestly. Unfortunately, the team and I have suffered a truly surprising number of setbacks this year in our personal lives. I'm only able to share so much because it is very personal, but I'll share what I can. Just since this spring, my wife has been diagnosed with a chronic new health condition, which has required her to take a step back from her MBE responsibilities. We unexpectedly ran out of storage space on our video server, which required me to essentially rebuild it. The sump pump in my house actually caught fire while I was sitting next to it, which required it to be replaced. Our garbage disposal in our sink burned out and needed to be replaced. My grandfather passed away. My wife's grandfather passed away. And speaking of curses that come in pairs, we actually had 2 separate invasive insect pest scares, each requiring their own expensive and time-consuming treatment. We had a leak in one of our bathrooms, which turned into a major insurance claim and an extremely disruptive reconstruction project. During that project, we found a bunch of rotted wood in my floors and walls, which needed to be torn out and replaced. And as if that wasn't enough, our HVAC system failed completely, which required it to be ripped out and completely replaced. For those of you who are counting it up, yes, that is, without exaggeration, well over $50,000 of emergency repairs and dozens, if not hundreds, of hours of work. Some of that was covered by homeowners insurance, but most of it was not. This might go without saying, but this has been a lot. While I don't consider myself to be a fragile person, all of this stress has had significant impacts on my physical and mental health and overall well-being. And this is just my household. For privacy's sake, I'm not going to get into everything that my siblings have had to deal with this year. So what's next? Where are we going? Well, I'd be lying if I said I knew for sure. I certainly couldn't have predicted everything that happened this year. That said, I do have a sense that we're coming around the corner on this season of chaos. And if life can just settle into a manageable rate of catastrophes, I think we'll be okay. Frankly, it's because of your support and in your encouragement that we're even talking about what's next. Without the community rooting for us, it would be really easy to look back at everything that happened this year and just give up. But you are rooting for us, and I'm not giving up. So, what does the future look like for Markley Bros Entertainment? Let's talk about EmberCon. I absolutely loved EmberCon 2023. It was delightful to have so many folks join us in person as well as online. That event was in January of this year, and my original plan was to have EmberCon 2024 this upcoming January. That's less than 3 months away, and for all the reasons I've explained in this video, it's just not going to be possible. From a budgeting perspective alone, we need to recover a little bit financially before we can host the next EmberCon. I'm still committed to EmberCon 2024. Right now, we're thinking about Q2 of next year. Of course, we'll update everyone once we have more details. As for new video uploads, I do think I can see a clear path to us getting back to 4 new uploads per month. It's going to take another month or 2 for us to get there, but I do see a clear path to getting there. As you probably guessed from the latest updates that we've posted, I'm no longer exclusively focusing on YouTube as our main platform for content. We'll be diversifying our platforms as needed to find the audience for the shows that we are actively pursuing. Those active shows include The Unlikely Show, aka The Unlikely Adventures of an Improbable Family, aka the show formerly known as The Malix Minute. I'm completely committed to telling the story of Linus, Malix, Snufflefungus, Mara, and the rest of the characters from the classic Malix Minute podcast. I think it's going to be absolutely hilarious, heartwarming, and disturbing in the very best ways, and I cannot wait for you to see /and/or hear it. Speaking of seeing and or hearing, The Unlikely Adventures of an Improbable Family is not just available on YouTube. It's also available on any podcast app in case you want to listen on the go. And of course we have Ember Fables, our actual play D&D campaign headed up by Gabriel. It just launched earlier this year. It is not available on our main YouTube channel, but it does have its own dedicated YouTube channel, which has been doing very well since we launched it. And just like the Unlikely Show, you can easily find Ember Fables wherever you find your podcasts if you prefer to listen instead of watch. You might be wondering about our other shows that we've made in the past, Danger Couch, Bucking Sailboat, Ohioville 9 Nightly News. Right now, we're just not actively pursuing those shows. So you should not expect to see more of them, at least not in the form that they took before. If I've learned one lesson this year, it's this. As an artist, you don't always have time to make filler content. And you certainly don't have time to make content just because someone else wants you to. Figure out what you want to make and consistently and relentlessly pursue it. Life's just too short to do otherwise. Okay, so here's the TLDR for this update. This has been a difficult year, but because of your support and encouragement, we are getting back in the saddle. EmberCon 2024 is postponed, hopefully to Q2 of next year. More details to follow. And look for more Unlikely Adventures and Ember Fables. Hopefully, between those two shows, we will be delivering 4 new episodes per month starting soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your patience with me and my team. And thanks as always for your support and encouragement. It means more than I can say. Leave a comment below or hit me up on Discord to let me know what you think. God bless and have a great day.